This is a physical package, so it's designed for you to print out and use, like write it with your hands, write it with a pencil. And research shows like by writing it by hand, each word, it just improves the learning and makes it into your memory. Also, like just like reading and writing the Bible, if you just like write out one verse a day in Greek, write it out, it just, the Bible in its original language is just, it's just very charming to do that. And anyways, this is designed to do, it's, the whole thing is designed so that you only have to spend 15 minutes a day. So it's not very time consuming because everything's like, it's like a template. It's all built out for you. All you have to do is just open it to a new day and then just write the verse. So it only takes about 15 minutes. So
that's a genius thing to do.
I didn't actually show the actual thing yet, but I hope it matches your expectations. So, and then basically it's like the more you do, if you just do it every day, you just do a little bit every day, you just get better and you learn more words. So basically the instructions are here. Basically what you do is you print it out. It's 5 pages. So you print it out. There's a cover page, which you're looking at now.
Okay.
Page 2 is the alphabet. So I actually found just a layout of all the alphabet so you can be reminded of how to write it. Then we got the actual page. It's the actual workbook. So page 3 is the actual workbook. Page 4, I'll show you what it looks like. But basically, you print out the pages. And then for page 4 and 5, you print out some extra pages because you definitely need a lot more extra pages. And what you do is you just take 15, 20 minutes a day and you work on it. So the next page looks like the Greek alphabet. And I think I can start showing you a physical copy here. So I printed out a physical copy. It looks like this. So the cover page looks like this.
Wow.
Okay. Next page is just a Greek alphabet. So you can always go back to the page and look at it, how you write it. And I found, this is really nice. I found different versions of how to write all the letters. So there's this guy who wrote it all out. He's like, in Greece, there's different ways of writing each letter. So he wrote all the different ways. So I found this, put it there. Okay, so here's the workbook. So the first page of the workbook, it looks like this. I wrote it out I filled it out with the Greek. But this is the blank. This is what I filled out. And then, but the blank one, you can see, it says, there's instructions. You just follow the instructions step by step. So first one, you spend 15, 20 minutes. You fill in the date. So I wrote down the date, January 1, 2022. You write down the page number. Okay, this is the first page. So I wrote down page number 1. All right, then you take a verse from the Bible. So I took Galatians chapter 1, verse 1. You start with the first word, and there's a box here. See, for the first box, you write the word in Greek in the shaded box. Mm-hmm. Okay, and then there's a space for you to write whatever you want. So you can write in the English word, or how to pronounce it, or any notes you want to do. Mm-hmm. And then the next step is you read it. So I wrote Paulos. The first word is Paulos. So I wrote Paulos out with a pencil. And then I wrote Paul, because it means Paul. And then I read to myself. I said Paulos. And then the next step is repeat the first 3 steps until you finish the verse. So I wrote the next word, apostolos. And then I wrote, it means apostle. And then I said apostolos. And I wrote it down. It took 15 minutes. I did one word at a time. And the reason why it's in these boxes, the boxes separate each word so that you have to do one word at a time. You have to fill it out first, the Greek, then you write. And after a while, I stopped writing in the box because I started recognizing the Greek words. After about 7 years of doing it, I knew this word. I didn't have to write it down here anymore. But anyways, this page has 16 blocks on it. So basically every day, the maximum you do is 16 words. That's it. And a lot of the time, it actually doesn't even get to 16 words. So the second day, Galatians chapter 1, verse 2, only had 10 words. So I wrote, no, not 16. I think it's 20 words. 20 words on this page. no, 24 words. It's definitely enough for one verse. But here it's only 10 words. So I wrote down each word, and you write it in the shaded area, and you write down the date, you write the page number. So basically, after you do that, the next step is actually to circle the words. So you can see what I did here. I went, after I finished writing each word out, then the next step in the guide is you have to circle the words that you think are important, or you want to look at it. So I circled some of the words. I circled all the prepositions because I thought those were interesting. I wanted to know them, so I circled them. I made a circle around the word, you see? I drew a circle around this word here, which is app.
What is it again, app?
Yeah, so I drew circles around the words I wanted to look at. Then what you do is there's another page in this guidebook. It's called a keyword word bank. So this is another page that collects all the words that you want to look at again. So basically, I filled out there's 15 words per page. There's enough space to fill 15 words in. But every time you have a word that you do your once a day verse, you find a word that you think is interesting, you put it into your keyword bank. And the keyword bank fills out every day. After about 7 days, I fill them all out. So in the first column, you write the keyword in Greek. So I wrote the keyword in Greek. Then the second column, you write the comments. You write anything, you write an explanation, what it means, your comment. And then the third column, I left it empty. So it's actually empty. And what you do, you can choose what you want to write. So you can choose if you want to write the part of speech, whether it's a verb, adjective, or you can write the Strong's number, or you can write how many times it shows up in the Bible. Depends on what you want to do with these keywords. So I wanted to analyze the parts of speech. So I decided to write down the parts of speech here. So now I can keep track of all the keywords that I've encountered each day and what part of speech they are. And just filling it out. I think I filled out to the second page already too. So I started on my second page of keywords already. So basically after, you just do 1 page a day, basically just a page. So every day I just flip to the next page. Right now I'm on page 7. I printed out extra copies, obviously, of the same page. So I have the same page. And right now I did page 6 yesterday. So I wrote January 6, 2022, page 6. And then I wrote Galatians chapter 1, verse 6. I wrote one verse at a time. And then I circled my words and put them into the keyword bank. And after testing this a few days, it really does only take 15 minutes. Because everything's laid out for you here. So you don't have to do it. You just open it and you just start writing it, each word. So it really cuts down on any kind of time wasted. You just focus on the Greek. So it really does only take 15 minutes. And so basically, what I do, you punch holes on it. So I punch a 3-hole here, and I put it into my binder. So now I have like a workbook here that I just put on my desk, and then every day I take the workbook out. I just open it. I'm like trying to demonstrate this, but like I open it to the right page, or I open it to a blank page. And now I'm ready. So I write the date. Today is whatever day. Tomorrow is going to be January 8th. And then this is my 8th day of doing this. And then I just write the next verse, Galatians 1:8. And you just go every day. So you can see after a while, after around day, even around like day 7, I stopped. I only wrote the Greek. After a while, I stopped writing the explanation because I didn't need the translation anymore. I knew the words just kept reoccurring, And I think there's something really interesting about writing it down with a pencil. So I sharpen the pencil, just like you're in elementary school or whatever. And you just write it down. There's something interesting. After a while of doing it every day, something starts building up. The vocabulary starts building up, and also the speed of the writing. It's not as quick as writing English, but you just start speeding up. And it feels a lot more natural, and it doesn't take too long every day either.
So did you go according to some script, or where did you get your writing from?
Oh, so I watched this video. So there's this guy. He has a video where he goes through each letter. Here, let me see if I can open this video. Oh, I don't know. It doesn't matter if there's sound or not. You just have to.
Miles Van Pelt had done it.
Oh yeah, any kind of. Oh wait, that's not right. Okay, there's this French guy.
You might need to reshare.
He wrote it, but he wrote like different versions of each letter, which I found interesting.
Jenny,
So there's like options here.
Yeah.
could you reshare your screen?
Oh,
Looks pretty neat, yeah.
should I share again? How's that?
Yeah.
See?
Yeah.
I can.
So I watched this video to learn how to write the letters. I think this video is pretty good because he's writing it with a pencil and he's writing like different versions of the letter too. So which gives me some options of how I want to write it. And after a while, I started developing kind of my own way of writing it. So I found this video pretty, and I took what I did is I took a screenshot of this video and put it directly into the workbook. So the workbook has a picture from the video in it where he shows all the letters.
I think you're missing the omega.
Oh yeah, he doesn't have omega. I thought, well,
He
this one
does.
kind of looks. He
No,
has
that's a
omega.
pie.
He has omega in the video, but it couldn't fit
Yeah.
into one screenshot. So, anyways, you get the idea. So basically, I think it's pretty much worked pretty well for me for the past 7 days. You just go through the pages pretty quickly. So what I did was I printed out about 15 pages of the blank template for verses, and then I printed out maybe 5 pages of the keyword word bank, and that lasted me about a week. That's going to last me about a week or so, or 15 days. And then
So 5 pages. Go on, I'm sorry.
Wouldn't it be cool if I have this big binder, kind of big? Wouldn't it be cool by the end of the year to have 365 pages?
It's crazy.
Just a verse a day. I wonder what my Greek would be like if I just kept this up. But
I
anyway,
need to practice oboe. I need to write down exactly what I practiced. I started doing it. My teacher had a practice chart. So,
yeah,
okay, you played your scales and you played scales with a tuner, and you played a chromatic, and you played a solo and an etude and a sonata or whatever, so it's like an extra possible, I'm not majorly conscientious, but but I've started doing a little bit.
something. So I'm kind of good about starting something new in the new year.
That sounds really great. And then you're right. As you write it more, you're going to be used. You'll see repetitions of words, but I think this also. I just found that sometimes when you write the word and when you write a verse, when you write it down, that's where it really starts to grow on you, basically.
Yes, exactly. There's something about writing it yourself with a pencil, one letter at a time. It just slows you down so that you have to do each word at a time.
Yeah, praise the Lord.
I thought I wanted to capture that experience and make it easy for people to do it every day. So I
Great idea.
work around it.
I actually
Yeah.
started out when I was in school, I would write a verse on sticky notes.
Mm-hmm.
So one verse had a sticky note, and then I'll just paste it, and then my wall would be filled with sticky notes after a while.
That's a pretty good idea too. That's a good idea. Yeah, it's the same it's the same principle where if you do a little bit every day, it builds up over time.
Mm-hmm.
So the templates are empty. I purposely didn't put any of the date. The date is empty, so you fill out the date yourself. So it doesn't matter if you skip a few days or you forget, you know, you fill out the date yourself. You fill out the page number. It's all empty. So there's no pressure to do it every day. You know, if you miss a day, that's fine too. So the workbook is kind of designed to be flexible that way. But yeah, it would be cool if we could, I'm wondering, if I did it for a month, 2 months, even if I keep this up for a year, I wonder how many words would get into me, So it's a very small time commitment every day.
How are you choosing your verses currently?
Oh, I just started from Galatians because I wanted to read Galatians. And I just did Galatians, one verse at a time. That's it.
Yeah, I was thinking some verses are really long, so.
And for the long verses, so on the template, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, there's 24 boxes. So it's the maximum amount of words you can have on the page is 24. So some verses will cut off at 24. It might be longer than 24. So actually my policy is once it gets 24, I just stop writing it. It's done. I'm done because it's designed so that you only have to spend 15 minutes. So it limits you at that time. So yeah, unless you want to write on the next page. But for me, my exercise is I'm writing, a maximum of 24 words every day in Greek. That's all. It's like for longevity's sake.
Yeah. You could duplicate that for Hebrew as well. I learned that Miles Van Pelt, like the guy who wrote the Hebrew workbook, I think. Yeah, he also wrote a biblical Aramaic workbook, which I know is out of the scope, but it's like tempting to learn.
Oh man. Yeah, actually, in theory, you could probably use this to do one word in Hebrew.
Or in any language.
Says Greek. It just says the word Greek here, but you could technically use this for Hebrew if you wanted. I mean, basically, it's the same thing. Anyways, the idea is that you're spending 15 minutes a day. You're using a pencil to write each word one by one, and then you're collecting your keywords. So you're writing it out, and as you're writing it, you kind of notice each word. And then you kind of look back at all the words, and you're like, oh, I think like 1 or 2 of these words I want to keep in my memory. Or I want to like sort them or categorize them somehow. Then you take them, put it into your word bank. And then every day, it kind of like collects there until you have a good collection, a list. So, and then the third column on that keyword bank is for you to categorize all the words in whatever way you want to categorize it. It's like a vocabulary builder as well.
Yeah, I like that it's physical. I tried doing some stuff like online with different like planners and things, but it's just like too much overhead instead of just getting like the word out with my hand. Yeah, this is need to get back into that.
It's very simple. Only has a single purpose. Very simple, and I wanted to design it so that it's not too much every day. It's just like such a little. You only have one page every day. That's it. And if the verse is longer than 24 words, you just stop and stop writing. I'm done.
Well, so one idea could be that like you duplicate those pages, but you have like different numbers of words. Not so like basically you can choose. You're not limited to 24 words.
Yeah.
And then you can just like choose which one like fits the verse or like fits your mood, I guess. And then
I might make another version with more boxes.
And then
That's actually a really good idea.
you can like print like 10 of each, and then you can just
Mhm.
choose like, I'm gonna do like 5 words today, like that's it. Or I'm gonna do like
Actually, I
15.
think that's a really good idea, Keisha. I might do that.
Yay.
I might actually just do that before I share it with you guys. It's a really good idea. Think different. I'm writing this down so I don't forget. Yeah, maybe there could be like three versions of that template page. So like one version, it's like 15 words or something. And then the other version is the one I have, 24. And then another version could be like 35 words. So the boxes will be smaller, but then you can pick which one you want, depending on your mood. I love that. Good idea.
How long the book is?
Yeah, and how long the verse is, and I left it really open. Like you can choose whatever verse you want to write, and there's a lot of space. I left a lot of space on both sides, so you can write notes or highlight or color stuff.
Yeah, I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. It's good. We have someone like you in the group.
Yeah, you can color in the words if you want. You don't have to circle them or you can highlight them, or you can write. You can even write something on the margins. In the margins, there's a huge space, and in the instructions it says you can write something in margins. You can write, well, after I read this verse, here are my thoughts, or something like that.
I'm really thinking of like how I'm gonna like get them all printed. Can we?
Yeah, it's just a very minimalist, clean template for people to use. So yeah, that's all.
Thanks, Jenny.
No special word study today, but it's a tool. I just want to introduce a tool that I created.
First sharing of the new year. I think that's appropriate.